Hey, so got Church Right Bunch, F, Shuttle, Tom and Jerry right yellow, Tom and Jerry right yellow. We're good, we're good.
A touchdown wins the game.
First and goal. Mahomes flings it. It's there! Hartman! Just Kansas.
Well, it's arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
I'm Tom.
I'm Jerry.
Arguing with Tom and Jerry. Arguing.
He's Tom.
And he's Jerry. I was thinking about, like, what's the right age for things? And those things, like, vary over the generations. What's the right age for your kid to have a phone? I remember a photo that I got. Your newborn child had a brand new iPhone in its hand. It's like it was right there, you know. Like, so I know that you tend to think let's get that phone in their hands as soon as possible. But
They're more of a Ted Kaczynski when it comes to technology.
And then so there are objects and there are activities, and then there are some activities that require objects. And what's the right age for all of these activities and objects and activities that require objects? So it's like, maybe in the old days, it might be like, that boy really wants a horse, Janet. He's like, I don't know. He's only 10 years old, Jim. I don't think that he's ready for a horse. You're like, yeah, but God damn it, he said he'll groom him and feed him and take care of him. And so you had to, like, kind of make a decision about, all his friends got him. All his friends got horses already. What is the right age to allow a child to have a camel?
Or a horse.
Or a phone?
I don't know. You see this kind of thing in modern days with, farm kids. They learn to drive at a way younger age than anybody else. They can even legally drive before anyone else because they have to.
Well, yeah. I mean, before they learn how to read.
I don't think so. You're saying farm kids are stupid, and I disagree with that.
I didn't say that. I was
saying
some
of the smartest kids you'll ever meet.
Damn good work ethics.
Street smarts.
Well, I don't know about that, but maybe some common sense.
Yeah, common sense. That's what I meant.
That's different. I don't know, Harriet. He really wants a gun for his birthday. And damn it, I think that he should get one. Most of his friends have guns by now.
Yeah, I learned a lesson in school about guns when we read the book Shane, and Shane said that a gun is just a tool.
That's right.
Like
it's just an object for an activity. What is that activity?
Shooting stuff.
Killing. Doing some killing.
Well, you could shoot fence posts and such.
Tin cans, paint buckets.
Yeah.
Gallons of water off the lake.
I like shooting guns.
You do?
It's fun.
Yeah. What about, like, Roman candles? Like, what's the right age to allow a kid to, like have some Roman candles and shoot them on the 4th of July?
I'm kind of old school traditional when it comes to things like that. Like, I don't let kids. I don't like the idea of kids holding the Roman candle.
Yeah. You think they should put it in the ground and let it shoot?
Mm-hmm.
What age do they get to hold the Roman candle?
I don't think you should do it.
Even a grown man.
You got to hold it out to the side, It's just asking for trouble.
What about birth control? What's a good age for allowing children to have birth control?
I don't know. I think that's a baby mama and daughter thing to tackle.
Well, there are condoms and stuff too. I mean, that would count as birth control, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Like 12, maybe. It's like
when your son turns 12, you give him condoms.
Yeah, you give him a box of condoms, or your daughter turns 12. It's like, here you go. Like, go see Dr. Kaczynski. He's going to put you on this medication. What about, like, a Mr. Microphone? You remember that? Remember Mr. Microphone?
I don't know.
It was a microphone that would, like, hook up with your stereo receiver, and you could turn on the microphone, and then you'd be on the speakers of your stereo.
Oh man,
and you
that's
might like
awesome.
be listening, like maybe you're listening to a record and you could sing along with the record amplified. It's called
I would have
Mr.
loved
Mojo.
that.
You don't remember that?
I never had one.
You must not have ever been old enough to get one, I guess.
That would have been awesome. I did have a little portable 8-track player
Yeah.
that was fun. It was blue and I could walk around and I almost feel like it had a microphone you could plug into it, but I don't remember. I remember
What about
listening to Queen on that thing.
on an 8 track?
Yeah, a Queen 8-track. I could still see that silver robot on
Like
the cover.
what Queen album's that? I'm getting confused with like Styx. What Queen album has
Yeah,
a robot on it?
I am too now. You're right. Is I don't remember listening to Styx.
Like Domo Arigato, Mr.
Right.
Roboto?
Is
That's
that the cover?
Styx.
Man, maybe my wires are just all crossed. For some reason, I can see that cover with the big silver robot, and I'm
Hmm.
I remember listening to Queen. You know what
I don't,
though? You know what you did back in those days?
what'd you do?
I remember going to Gibson's and places like that and buying cheap, crappy 8 tracks and just using them as blanks and recording other
Yep,
stuff
that's
onto
right.
them.
Yeah, I did the same thing with cassette tapes. Yeah.
And I might have done that.
Yep,
I
you
might have
might
had my
have.
dad put Queen on that because who needs a Styx 8-track? But this is before Domo Arigato
Yeah,
or
because that
Domo
was like the
Arigato.
early mid '80s. Um,
This had to be late 70s in my memory.
what if you were in olden times and your child said, "I really want to go down and start talking to Socrates," and he's getting ready to turn 13, and you holler at the wife. It's like, I don't know. I mean, he really wants to go down there and hang out with Socrates. Uh, all his friends are doing it. You think he's ready for that?
I think I would have been all about it. I would have been like, yes, go learn. I mean, he
Go
is.
ahead and go do that. You 10-year-old kid, go down there and hang out with Socrates, and then whatever happens happens with whatever
I mean,
kinds of.
all he did was walk around and speak, reason and logic,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and he was humble.
He fornicated. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, their culture was like that.
a little open, little open. What about
I forgot.
activities?
I
What about
forgot about that part. My
activities
son would be nowhere near that man.
you wouldn't have let him go hang out with Socrates,
No,
even
because
though he was brilliant and
yeah, but didn't he also weren't they also like uh corrupting the youth like physically?
yeah, and they were smoking reefer too. I
Well,
heard.
that's not. I don't see the connection there.
It's like, I mean, one thing leads to another. It's the unethical behaviors are all like kind of go hand in hand, you
No,
know?
no, no. I don't think so. Case by case basis.
Oh, I see. There aren't any gateway kinds of activities or whatever.
Well, there could be, but I mean, if you've got, your head on your shoulders and you've got some kind
Hmm.
of foundation on certain
Hmm.
things,
Hmm.
you don't let some Socrates guy say, now you need to take your clothes off and, no, you'd be like, no, that's where I draw the line.
That's why I draw the line, Mr. Socrates. I'm not gonna do that. My parents told me that if I feel uncomfortable to say something and leave immediately, right?
Yeah.
What about an activity that doesn't require an object? So your child is like, I really would like a phone. It's like, well, you're only 13 years old. I don't really think you should have a phone until you're 16. You don't really need a phone. Here are some activities that you can substitute with
Yeah,
that
here's
don't
a football.
require.
You can go play in the park with your friends.
Correct football, exercise, a book. A book is an object, a
Sunlight.
football is an object, but these are things that can be shared. They're shared
Yeah.
objects.
Go
A
outside and
sewing machine.
play.
Yeah, a sewing machine. Go make me
hmm
some clothes. Go make me a blanket. Go, go out in the a garden. Get out in the garden and pull me some potatoes. Go Go
Get some
walk
dirt under your
down to
fingernails.
the supermarket and buy me, a bag of potatoes. Go down to the post office and mail this letter for me.
Yeah, that kind of father-son relationship is important. That's like Jerry Rice's dad was a bricklayer, and he would toss bricks down from up above, and Jerry would have to catch them with his hands. So he
Mm-hmm.
learned how to catch, heavy things real soft.
Right. That
The rest is history.
That sounds like a crock of shit to me, dude. You believe that?
I believe it. Yeah, I
You
believe
believe
it.
that?
I do believe it. I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, what is the right age then? I mean, you got the right age to maybe have a phone or to have a horse or to go give smoke signals or to play poker or whatever. Then what's the right age to be addicted to something? Like, what's the right age? What's the right age for her to be addicted to the phone?
I never. I mean, it's an inhuman thing to do.
What's the right age for him to be addicted to Mr. Microphone?
Addiction implies that there's a downside. Your life is suffering because of this addiction.
What's the right age for him to be addicted to gambling?
I've always played poker with my kids from young ages.
Yeah. Who
I
wins?
think it's good. It's counting, it's thinking ahead, it's, strategic, it's,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about the odds and
Yeah. Yep. Deception.
well,
Deception is a
that's
good
true.
lesson to kind of teach the children.
That's true. My son does love to deceive, but he's comedic about it. He's always joking around.
Yeah. Like, I gotcha. You believed
Mm-hmm.
me, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You fool.
It's just acting.
You stupid old man. Yeah. Do you believe in daylight savings time?
I don't like it.
I don't either. I think that, like, let's just leave it where it is right now, which I think is the real time, and
I
stop
struggle with
fucking around.
which one is where should it stay though? I don't know which one is right.
I think this is the right one, and then when we go to daylight savings time, that's when they're monkeying with it. But there's like legislation in front of Congress, and there has been for a few
I know, I
years,
thought
like,
it already
to make it
passed. I got
permanent.
so excited several years ago, and it just keeps happening.
You got excited about what?
I thought they were doing away with it.
No,
Like
they were
even
going to
back,
make it permanent. They were going to make it permanent.
I know that. That's what I mean.
Yeah, you'd make the
Oh,
wrong one permanent.
see, they always got to screw it up.
Right? What about the baby boomers? What do you think about them?
I think it's a scary and unfortunate thing to have young people insulting older people in any way at all.
I'm not a
And
person.
so going around and saying, "Okay, boomer," I think
Mhm.
that's really weird to be like insulting your elders. It should come automatically with some respect.
Yeah.
We're getting into like you know, is it Lord of the Flies, where the kids are in charge of
Yeah.
themselves?
Yeah.
It's not good.
That's a good point. Um, what do you think about the baby boomers? Um, and the jobs that they have and the houses that they live in. What do you think about those things?
I mean, you can't blame them.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I mean, they just
Last
grew
thing.
up in
The
a
last thing you want
society.
to do is blame the baby boomers. It's the last thing you want to do.
Well, I didn't say last. I
Well,
didn't
you
make
said
a
you
list of.
can't. You said you can't. So it's like, well, I guess I can't.
Well, it
I
doesn't
can't
make
blame
sense.
them.
I mean, how are you going to
I mean,
blame a generation of people who just came up in the environment they came up in?
and just totally like 180, like in the middle of it, and now we're like hanging on to all of their resources, and squeezing the rest of the population for an
It's not
opportunity.
their
I don't
fault.
know how you, I
It's
don't know
not
how
their
you could
fault that
blame.
they killed it. It's not their
Yeah.
fault that, the communists in the early days of the
Yeah.
1900s instituted Social Security and just started taking money from people
Hmm.
and then giving it to people who don't even need it.
Right.
They
Like the
didn't
baby.
ask for that.
Right. Huh. I don't know if that's exactly right or not.
What?
Um,
What's wrong?
that they didn't ask for that.
I mean, if the government's sending you a check of money that they took from your kids working at Pizza Hut, what are you supposed to do? Send it back?
What generation of Americans as children had it easier than the baby boomers?
Yeah, but
Who
that's not
had
their
what?
fault.
I'm not saying it's their fault. What they do with it? They had a good time for a while. Then they got greedy. Then they got selfish. And then now they're they refuse to stop working. They refuse to give up their big ass homes. They refuse to give anybody else a chance. It's like we're gonna live. We're gonna live forever. We are the baby boomers. It's just something I heard. I heard about it.
I just I don't like the trend in thought to turn on your elders.
They're not that much of an elder to you and I, really. At this point, they're pretty much contemporaries to a degree.
I mean, if we allow that,
Yeah,
what's coming for us
we didn't do
one day?
anything.
I mean, how would
We
you like
didn't.
to be how would you like to be an old person
Yeah.
who needs help
Uh huh.
and you get whacked on the leg because they can?
They don't need any help though. They don't need any help. They're fine. Nobody. They're not asking for help. Nobody's whacking them on the leg.
One day they're going to be older
Yeah.
and they shouldn't be disrespected because they're older.
That's not why I'm not disrespecting them because they're older. Doesn't
Why
have
do you
anything to
hate
do
the
with.
baby boomers?
I don't. Uh, I don't hate them. I think that they were as spoiled as any generation in American history.
What do you do?
I don't know. You just talk. You talk shit about them and disrespect them. You maybe crack them in the knee when they're walking out of the grocery store or something. Take their groceries.
Yeah, I disagree with all that.
All right. Well, I mean, I guess that we're going to have to just agree to disagree then.
I don't think violence should be perpetrated on anyone, especially older people.
Yeah. What about
But you do.
what about a bunch of old Talibans? Like a bunch of old Talibans come walking into your neighborhood, then what are you going to do about that?
I mean, you just have to deal with them one by one. Like, what do they believe? What do they
You're just going to
stand
talk to
for?
them. You're going to
Yeah.
talk to them a little bit, like just work it out. I don't think that you
What
should
does it mean
dance.
to be in the
Your
Taliban?
your your female children should not attend the school.
Okay, you
You
have to
should
leave the
not learn
country
how to
now.
read.
You
Huh?
have to leave. You have to leave my country then.
That's what they told you?
That's what I would say.
No, that's what they
We
that's
don't
what
do
they would
that
say.
here.
That's
Our
what they
kids
would
go to
say.
school.
That's what they would say. You have to leave the country now.
Well, I wouldn't
And
be in
you'd
their
say, "Oh, I'm
country.
sorry, I don't agree in violence against anybody. So yes, sir, thank you. I'll go ahead and leave the country now."
If I went to their country where that's
Hmm.
the way it works, then I
Hmm.
would expect it to be that way. Why I wouldn't be there.
You wouldn't like maybe like just kind of like take an opportunity to maybe like whack one of them across the knee when they're walking out of the grocery store.
I'd
Like,
rather
it's
live
kind of
somewhere
fun.
else.
It'd be kind of fun though, wouldn't it?
It's not going to solve anything. I'd rather live somewhere where they aren't an issue.
Right, but but they're just an example. of an issue, of many issues. Like if you were like, I know you often are out in Utah, like hanging out in these kinds of survivalist encampments, and I might think that maybe some of them might need to get whacked across the knee when they're
The
walking out of the
Mormons?
door. No,
Now you're
not the
now you're
Mormons. They were
whacking
at my
Mormons?
the Mormon. I hosted the Mormons this morning at my house when they
Why?
came knocking at the door. They knocked on
Oh,
my door. So what do you do when someone knocks on your door? You open the door and you say, "All are welcome here, my son."
I don't do that.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Well, that's the difference between you and me.
Yeah, I'd have to know a lot more about someone before they just walk in my house.
Yeah. What about indie rock? Do you like that?
Like bands like Bush.
No, you're not familiar with this kind of music. Bush is who comes to mind for you. What?
Glycerine!
Okay.
This is a comedy show.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 90s,
Yeah,
would indie rock have been Pavement and Polvo and Modest Mouse? Is that indie rock?
probably, probably so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
But then
like,
there's this whole there's this whole other like spawn, you know, of all of this other of the same, you know, who are influenced by those guys. And
oh, like Silverchair.
like I went to art school. Like I went to art school, or my parents like listened to classical music in the house, or you know, my dad was a lecturer at
So the Beatles.
like there it doesn't very ever really get too excited. You know, they don't ever get too aggressive. They kind of have a little bit of a smart ass tone.
Okay, so
Uh,
like remember in The Simpsons when there's a concert. I don't remember who's playing, but all the kids dancing are like this.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. Yeah. No, they make a lot of stuff that I really love. Like I said, it's a love hate relationship. There are times when I just get tired of hearing it, and I'd rather just
Hmm.
hear AC/DC or something.
Mike Tyson again, turn off your
Mike
station.
Tyson. That's what he said. Just turn off the station. Yeah. Have you ever wrote a set list?
I mean, because you're going to go up on stage and play a bunch of songs? Yeah, you make a list of the songs you're going to play. That's how you do it.
Right. So do you know how to do that?
Yeah, you sit down with a piece of paper and a pencil and
Uh
you
huh.
write a list of the songs you're going to play.
Uh huh. And that's what you do.
That's what you do.
Is it a Monday night? Is it a Tuesday? Is it a Friday?
Is it a
Are you playing?
funeral?
Is it a funeral? Is it a wedding? Are you playing after the trivia show? Are you playing in a fucking taco bar? Are you playing like after the karaoke show? Or are you playing a matinee? Are you playing a
All these
seven
things.
band bill?
Hmm.
Right? You got to kind of think about those things.
Yeah, before you even start with your list, you want to go in knowing what kind of show this is going to be.
Well, you're thinking about what the show is and what it's going to be, and as you're thinking about that, then you're looking at the list, and you're picking the potential songs, right?
Right. Yeah.
Do you want to start off with energy? Do you want to start? You're playing the art gallery, let's say.
Hmm.
Uh, let's say Jerry's got an opening, and he's showing off all of his new sculptures. You know, do we want to start off with the Devo cover song?
Hmm.
You know,
Good choice, I think.
it might not be the worst choice. Or you know, would you
Unless it's
rather?
like classical sculptures, I don't know.
Then you might start with Color My World.
Unless you're
Let's say.
trying to be ironic, you know,
Well, that would
shake
be
it
like
up.
once again that's the indie rock thing, and I don't know how
Hmm.
that's going to fly. It might fly really well at the art opening. Actually, who
If it's
knows?
tastefully done.
I don't know.
These are all things you'd have to take into consideration when you're making your set list.
That's
Not a
right.
big deal.
Well, what I guess I'm trying to say is it's a little bit bigger deal than you might think. I don't know what to tell you, man. Uppers, downers, antistatins, Ozempic, weight loss drugs,
Oh,
uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
anti-anxiety pills, um,
I would take those
fentanyl. You know, whatever it is,
in very
whatever
small
you
amounts.
right, just a
I
little
take
bit.
my fentanyl very small amounts.
Yeah. Have you heard of gas station heroin?
No,
I haven't either.
I'm listening.
I don't know anything about it. I just heard somebody mentioned it the other day that somebody said that they were 4 years clean from gas station heroin.
Sounds a little sus.
I was like, I don't know. I didn't even know there was gas station heroin, and you're 4 years clean from it.
Yeah.
And
What
why are
is
you
it?
even? I don't know. It's like, why are you even talking about it? I didn't know about it. Now I'm curious.
What you do, you put some gasoline in those casks that your uncle on your wife's side had, and you
Yeah,
let it sit for a year, and
yeah.
then
That's
you
gas
turn the
station heroin.
little
Yeah,
deuter, and then the gas station heroin comes out.
High Plains Drifter, all Josie Wales, all that stuff is like earlier.
Hey, look what I got.
Are you kidding me? Why is it so empty?
It just came like that. I don't know.
Huh, that's funny. Jeez Louise. It's emptier than mine, and I. That's a lot of Fireball, dude. I mean, like, I feel like you've drank almost like a gallon of Fireball since I last talked to you. That's like, who makes Fireball? I can't I can't read.
Probably some frat house.
So there's a modern Greek language,
There
right?
is. I don't know
But
anything about it.
but then there's the ancient language,
You have that with Hebrew too,
right?
and that's what Hindi's modern and Sanskrit's ancient.
What's the difference between Greek and Latin?
I mean, they've got to be seriously connected,
Do they?
don't they? You would think
Um,
growing up Catholic, would know some Latin, but
you would
none.
think that you would.
Yeah, never taught. All those hours, 3 hour CCD classes on Sundays while my dad gets to sit at home and watch football. And I have to sit in there and read the Bible and learn from the nuns. They never taught me any Latin,
What did they teach you?
that Jesus is God.
Yeah, that you should worship the Jesus.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I thought it was a three-pronged thing in Catholicism.
Yeah, they have a Trinity,
Yeah.
the
Who else
Father,
did
the
they teach
Son, and
you?
the Holy Spirit.
So who's the Father if Jesus is God?
I know. Who did Jesus pray to?
Hmm.
Like, what are we doing here?
I thought he was Jewish.
He was. This is going to get into a whole thing that would be like an episode or two that I would love to get into.
Well, if Jesus is Jewish, I'm quite confused. He was
Yeah, are
Jewish.
you confused? Are you confused why a bunch of other cultures, successful, prosperous cultures, would just abandon all of their customs and beliefs and everything to adopt a foreign people's to worship a foreign rabbi as God Almighty?
Is that what happened?
How did it not?
That's what happened. You're
What else
saying
happened?
Reclaim the light, the truth, the clarity. It's there. How do you know? By letting go of anything that blocks your access. If it lies to your mind.